love Chardonnay or hate it? I know some people who absolutely hated Chardonnay and now love it. Do you know why? It's because they were drinking the wrong style Chardonnay for their particular palate. I'm going to show you the secret why, and it's important to note their taste buds never changed. We're going to learn 5 things about Chardonnay: a bit of Chardonnay's history, where it's from, the basics of Chardonnay, its taste profile, and some suggested food pairings, plus a little bonus at the end. Having been in the industry since 2003 and as a sommelier, I've tasted and critiqued more than my share of Chardonnays. I'd like to pass on to you some of what I've learned over the years. In this video, we're going to learn all about Chardonnay and, like I said, a little bonus at the end. Keep in mind, at any time, if you like what you hear, click like or subscribe or hit the little bell so that you'll be notified when there's a new post. Chardonnay, number 1, a bit of history. The thing that put the U.S. wine industry on the international map, especially California Chardonnay, was the Paris wine tasting of 1976. This is also known as the Judgment of Paris. This was a nose-to-nose competition, the U.S.'s best wines against France's best wines. There were 2 categories, Chardonnay from both countries and France's world-famous Red Bordeaux versus California Cabs. California won in both categories. This was a devastating loss to the French wine industry. You know, actually, this was like 10 years earlier when Ford completely smoked Italy's world-famous Ferrari team in the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1966. It was a devastating loss to Ferrari and to the Italian auto industry. Sorry about that. As an old Detroit guy, I had to bring that in. Back to Chardonnay. After winning in France, so successful was Chardonnay in the US that in the 1980s and 1990s, there was a backlash called the ABC movement, which stood for anything but Chardonnay. This actually was a benefit to the US wine industry. It encouraged much experimentation among drinkers with different grape varieties and wine styles. Even different expressions of Chardonnay, including the new style of generous oak, vanilla, and often a trace or touch of sweetness. Number 2, where it grows. The most highly regarded expressions of the variety come from Burgundy, France, and California. And approximately 80% of the global market comes from those 2 nations, France and the US. There is also a nice representation from Italy, Australia, New Zealand, and parts of South America. However, for this video, because of their dominance in the market, we're going to focus mostly on the French and California Chardonnays. Number 3, the basics of Chardonnay. The thing that Americans find confusing and keeps them from buying some of the best Chardonnays in the world is we don't know what we don't know. In the US, Chardonnay is called Chardonnay. In France, they don't name their wines by the grape or the varietal. They name it after a place or a person. If you see the word or the name Burgundy or Bourgogne on the bottle and the wine is white, it's a Chardonnay. The 4 key areas in Burgundy that you'll see on the bottle are Bourgogne Blanc or Bourgogne, Chablis, Macanas, and Côte de Beaune. If you see those names, it's a Chardonnay. Describing the flavors of Chardonnay is not easy. The varietal's fruit flavors are relatively flavor neutral. Although Chardonnay has become the winemaker's wine because it's the winemaking technique that brings the aromatic complexity to the wine. The techniques in fermentation and aging include oak aging, no oak, and MLF. I'll explain that in a second. Also, climate plays a major role in dictating the fruit flavors. Broadly speaking, warmer regions give tropical notes, temperate climates bring stone fruit, and cooler climates lean towards green apples, star fruits, and white blossoms. I'll get to this a little bit more in a second. Oh, also, Chardonnay is the main grape that's used to make champagne. How you doing there? Is this information making sense? If it is, write Chard or Chardonnay in the comments below. Number 4, taste profile. I'm going to throw a lot at you, but don't worry, I'm going to also summarize or simplify it at the very end. If you're one of those people that absolutely hates Chardonnay, what I found is many Chardonnays taste like you got a toasty, buttery cheekful of oak chips stuffed in your mouth, and you don't like that taste. Now on the flip side, some people absolutely love that taste profile. A number of us in the industry laugh about this because that taste profile is like crack cocaine to those who love it. They just can't get enough of it. Now, as I mentioned earlier, and you'll see on the chart, the three basic tastes are with oak, without oak, and MLF. Now you may be asking, what the heck is MLF? In the lower portion of the chart, you'll see MLF, which is malolactic fermentation. This is a process where tart-tasting malic acid, which is natural to the grape, is converted to a softer tasting lactic acid. This process is standard for most red wines, but in Chardonnay it imparts a softer, rounder mouthfeel and a buttery, biscuity, both aromas and flavors. Now along the line of oak aging, the fermentation and or maturation in oak barrels has been the most popular expression. Under taste profile, you can see oak aging contributes a variety of flavors. At the bottom of the chart, oak aging or barrel fermentation with MLS, you'll find a fuller, more buttery expression. Most of what we see coming out of California today is oaky, from big oak bombs to lightly or slightly oaky. France's region, Côte de Beaune, is the crème de crème of white Burgundy. They're typically rich, fleshy yellow apple and starfruit flavors with undertones of truffles, hazelnut, and vanilla. Let's look at no oak or unoaked Chardonnay on the chart. This is also known as being aged in inert vessels. This aging process produces neutral, occasionally apple-scented wines with crisp acids and mineral tones. Unoaked Chardonnay is becoming increasingly popular. The reason for this is that it allows the fruit to speak for itself. More recently, some U.S. producers are offering unoaked Chardonnays. It will actually say that on the label, unoaked. You'll find plenty of unoaked Chardonnays coming out of France. As I mentioned earlier, be on the lookout for the words Bourgogne Blanc, Chablis, or Macanasse. Check out the taste profiles on the unoaked portion of the chart. You'll see there what the French wines have to offer. Are you doing okay? Again, I'll simplify this in just a second. Also, climate plays a major role in dictating the fruit flavors. Follow along the climate chart. Broadly speaking, warm regions such as California, Chile, and much of Australia tend to give more tropical styles. Temperate zones such as southern Burgundy or northern New Zealand create wines marked with a different profile. The very coolest Chardonnay vineyards in the French regions of Chablis and Champagne, plus Germany, lean towards more refreshing and zesty expressions. When mature, a high-quality Chardonnay will develop a bouquet of almond and hazelnut. Now here's the simplest way to figure all this out. Oaked or unoaked? US or France? Oak is fuller, less acidity, more buttery. Unoaked is refreshing and zesty. In very general terms, the simplest of it all is this. California is oaked, Burgundy is unoaked. As you experiment and have fun figuring this out, let me know what you find. Very quickly, number 5 is food pairings. The key to this is, are you drinking an oak or an unoaked Chardonnay? To maximize your taste, be aware of the sauces or lack of sauces in your food. With unoaked Chardonnay, fish, chicken dishes, salmon, fajitas, frittatas, salads, crab cakes, chicken Dijon, oysters, pork, all that works really well. For oaky chards, they'll go better with rich creamy sauces such as salmon with cream sauce, pork or shrimp with a cream sauce. Yeah, I think you get the point. The sauces will be the benefit here. Well, there you have it. Everything you need to know about Chardonnay. Well, almost. Hang in there for a quick bonus at the end. But first, let me thank you for investing the time to watch this video. I trust it was helpful to you. If it was, make sure you subscribe, click like, and ring the little bell to turn on notifications. Let me know if you have comments below. Also, if there's someone you know that's interested in wine, make sure you share this video with them. I'd really appreciate that. Are you ready for the added bonus? If you want to check out the best Chardonnays in the world under $40 or the best Chardonnays in the world under $15, check out the respective links in the description below. Now don't forget to enter your discount code Asti Wines at checkout. Again, that discount code is Asti Wines. Folks, thanks for being with me. I'm here to help and serve you as we learn more about wine together. I look forward to you joining me on social media and on my web page. Also, those links are in the description below. Until next time.